You're about to meet Krysta and learn why she turned to Freedom Mentor to achieve a lifelong real estate dream and in the process, develop the creative investing skills to transform her goals and her family's future. If you're looking for the right opportunity to change your future but aren't clear on how to get there, you're going to love this interview. Hi, I'm Brian Bush with Freedom Mentor, and for nearly 20 years, our team has transformed people from all walks of life into incredibly successful real estate professionals who now have complete control over their financial future. We provide these real-world stories of our apprentices' experience and real estate success to help inspire you to realize the potential you have and the opportunities available for you to pursue. Throughout this interview, if you have any questions, text FREEDOM to 305-315-8030 or comment below. Now, let's meet Krysta.
Click subscribe and add alerts so you can get more real-world real estate wisdom that you'll hear nowhere else but here.
Krysta, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today, because obviously you've had success here, and we certainly enjoy it when you share that success and help to inspire others. So to start with here, take us back. What were you doing before you joined Freedom Mentor?
Sure. So I was originally a middle school science teacher. My two boys, my oldest, are only 15 months apart. So when my youngest was an infant, we found that daycare cost more than my teaching salary. So I started staying home with my two oldest. And I was home with them for quite a while. And then I had a night out with some friends, and we started talking about what's one thing that you'd really like to do that you haven't done or are too afraid to do. And I said, I really want to flip a house. I've always just really liked real estate. I've always kind of been into it, watched plenty of HGTV, and they were like, go do it. So I was like, I didn't even really think ever before that it could be an option, but why not? You know, I wasn't currently working at the time, and my husband has a W-2 with really good insurance. So that wasn't really a concern for us, and he was supportive. So I started kind of researching from there.
Gotcha. So were you looking to rehab a house? Did you just want to, was it the income? Was it the transformation? What was it about it that piqued your interest?
For me, it was always about the transformation. It was about taking something that was unloved and run down and providing a good product for a potential family to be able to enjoy and raise their family in. That was primarily what it was.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that time, before you got started, in terms of what was holding you back? What kept you from pursuing that prior?
I didn't know anybody else in real estate, and I knew that being an agent and driving people around in my car on a Saturday just to have them not love a paint color wasn't in my future. So I was like, I definitely don't want to be a real estate agent. I always said that if I was ever going to get my license, I'd get a contractor's license before a real estate license. So I just liked that aspect of it. I liked the idea of design. And so that was more my focus.
Okay.
And I didn't know anybody else who did it, so I didn't even know where to start.
Okay. So you were just brand new. So, I mean, you were out with your friends that came up as, you know, why wouldn't I do that? Where did you start?
Yeah. I started on Google trying to find somebody who could guide me through the process, because I knew that real estate is expensive and you can lose a lot of money if you don't do it well. I know that it's litigious. I really didn't want to run the risks of not having the right permits or not having the right information. So I just kind of started looking online to see if there was anybody who could help me figure it all out and help me figure out where to start and all of that.
Gotcha. So did you find some local options? Did you come across, quite a bit of potential, or how did you end up with Freedom Mentor?
This was in 2018 when I first started looking. So there wasn't much. There were some of like the local seminars because I live in a pretty urban area, but I never wanted to go get like a sales pitch from a seminar and then just, I know that I'm also not the person that's going to learn it and figure it out on my own. As a teacher, I know my learning style and that's not it. I really like to work with people. I really like to bounce ideas off of people. And I knew that like reading a book or going to a seminar wasn't my type of learning. So I Googled and I found Free to Mentor fairly quickly. And then I started looking at all of like the YouTube videos and trying to figure out, you know, all of that information as to whether or not like, what do you actually get? You know, is this legitimate? Because you never know when you see things online. So yeah, after that, I finally decided to make the contact.
Okay. And was there something about seeing Free to Mentor in comparison to the other potential options you saw that made it stand out, that made you feel like that would be a good fit for you?
Yeah, it was just the continued support. For me, I really just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a dump of information and then you're on your own. Because I knew that I was going to want to be able to talk through things, bounce ideas, come to someone and get direct advice when I needed it. And so that's kind of what it seemed like to me, you know, when I first started doing research.
Gotcha. So you mentioned your learning style, and as a science teacher, I would imagine you weren't the teacher just dronely reading the book. You were getting hands-on, doing experiments, really teaching them, and then that's the style that you want to learn as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a learn by doer. I just kind of, I have to actually do it and see the process to learn. And I knew that I was going to have somebody there for the entire time period, so that I could learn that way.
Gotcha. So there was not a time where you said, I'll just do this on my own. You knew from the outset, you need to be taught how to do this. You need mentor.
Yeah. Yes. I never would have done it by myself.
Gotcha. You know, I see a lot of investors make mistakes. I know when I first started out, I spent years just trying to study and treated it more like a hobby. And when you put in hobby time, you get hobby results, right? It sounded like you had enough experience in life to know if you want to learn something, you need to go to someone that's been there and done that can guide you through it.
Yeah. And I also wasn't that young. And I also wasn't single. Like I had two babies at the time, and I didn't have the time or the financial backing to really kind of limp through it. It was like, if I'm going to do this, I need to do it. Like it needs to be something that I can monetize quickly. I needed to minimize the number of failures that I was going to have in my learning curve. So yeah, doing it by myself wasn't an option.
Got it. And then from a financial standpoint, time standpoint, you knew that you kind of had a window of time to pursue this. Your husband's supportive, but you don't have a lot of extra time. And if you're going to get results, you need to make sure you're doing it very efficiently.
Yeah. Yeah. It needed to be as minimal risk as possible. I mean, of course, it's always risky, and you're taking that risk on yourself, which is probably the only person that I would put that much risk into. Because I knew like failing wasn't an option for me. Once I got started, I just had to make it work. But I wanted to minimize the number of failures and lessons that I learned on my own.
Got it. So you came into the program, went through all the training, started connecting with coaches. Obviously, you picked up on things, but you wanted to get hands-on. So what are some of the highlights, some of your maybe favorite experiences and deals in Free to Mentor?
Yeah. So I actually, when I first started, I didn't touch a deal or really do any full marketing for the first couple of months. I wanted to get like my groundwork really solid first. So I really dove into all of the videos and the training. And then I closed my first 2 deals within a week of each other. And one of them was a double wide trailer. And the other one was $1 million mansion, which in my area is a lot of money. It was like 15,000 square feet. And I made the same amount of money on both of them. on the double wide and on the 15,000 square foot mansion. So I always like to tell people, I'm like, you never really like, don't judge a deal by the size of the deal because you never really know. Um, so that was really great. And that was, probably 5 months after joining. Cause like I said, I did a ton of research and I watched all of the stuff and I got everything set up the way that you guys, laid out for us. Just so that I could lay that.
Such a huge contrast between a double wide and a 15,000 square foot mansion.
Totally.
You made about the same on both deals. Tell me about the stress level or just what came with one versus the other. Were they pretty similar?
Yes, they were structured fairly similarly. Obviously, my negotiating wasn't the best because my margins were way different, with the price points. So, I mean, would I do it differently now? Would I have closed them a lot faster? Absolutely. They both were under contract for way too long. And I say with every real estate deal you do, there will be hoops to jump through, all of them. And so did I create maybe more hoops? Yes. But, I got through it, but I literally was on like every call in the morning asking, okay, here I am now. What's my advice? And I needed a lot of handholding, but I think that was the only thing that got me through it was the fact that I could get on a call in the morning. I could ask my direct question, get a direct answer, and then that would be my marching orders for the day.
You weren't just sitting back waiting for everything to be done. You were going after it. You were trying to clarify. You're ready to take action. You just needed that a little bit of guidance to make sure you're on the right track, and then you're running with it, right?
Yes. I would have like my really specific deal questions. Like, what do I do in this exact instance? And then I would upload any documents that I needed to have reviewed or that I needed to discuss during the call. And then I would get my marching orders and go from there.
Right. So obviously you have, as a student, you had access to send over questions through the message center. But sometimes, you start typing it out and realize, no, I just need to talk through this. And that's where you're getting on the group coaching calls. And that's really, it sounds like one of the most valuable things to you as you were going through. Would you agree with that?
100%. I never felt like I asked a question that you all didn't have the knowledge base to answer. And I never doubted the fact that you all didn't have everything in hand to support me. So that helped a lot. And it was every question that I asked. It was directly like, this is what you need to do. This is what's going on. And I never felt like I wasn't supported. And that was the most important, really, for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've graduated, you've made $500,000 in net profits in real estate and gone on to make more. Yeah. What is that like now? How does that transform things for you?
It makes you look at things a lot differently. I never really set out to be an entrepreneur or business owner. Even when I first got started, I was like, I'm just going to flip a couple houses, but my mindset was never on, I'm going to make this much money. When I first heard the amount of money that I had to make to graduate, I was like, there's no way. Like, I was a teacher. I was like, that's not like a real number. And then it just kind of slowly started to take hold. And after I graduated, I felt really accomplished. Like, I felt like maybe I can do more than I thought I could originally. So it just kind of, my whole mindset changed into like what I thought was possible.
Gotcha. So you came in with goals, obviously, to transform some houses, but your goals evolved as you started growing and seeing success and realizing some of the potential then.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even realize that like creative real estate was an option. And as someone who really likes to solve problems naturally anyways, that was what I really leaned into, was a lot of the sub 2 and more creative deal structures. And I think to date, I've done over 40 deals and I've only used a lender to purchase one once.
Wow.
Everything else has been just creative, which to me helps people the most anyways. You can help the sellers a lot more when you can deal, structure a deal on terms. And so that always felt really good too. I thought that I was able to like help people out of their real estate issues, and I was able to monetize it and kind of create a win-win situation.
Absolutely. And this is a people business. So helping people is really kind of the first thing you have to focus on when you're running into someone that has a real estate problem.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, you said you've only borrowed money once. What was that like?
Expensive. Like I didn't realize when I first started the underwriting process, I don't think I realized how much skin the lenders actually take. And between like the lending fees and the costs associated with the closings and all of that, I didn't realize how expensive it was to use a lender. And after looking at those figures, it motivated me even more to try to do as many terms deals as I could, because I would rather pass those funds along to the seller if I can.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and you
Yeah.
have so many options as you get creative to really look at the seller situation. It's certainly not a one size fits all, which lending
No.
more so is in that one size fits all box according to their product. So you've been able to do a lot of those deals. Sounds like that's where you want to continue to focus.
Mhm.
You've graduated from an apprentice on your own now. You've been through a lot, grown in your goals. What kind of advice would you give your younger self? If you'd known what you know now, what would you pass on to someone else in that position?
I would say don't sleep on it. Don't wait. The perfect time doesn't exist. The perfect time in your life doesn't exist. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened in my personal life since I got started, and it probably made me stronger. But the perfect time to start doesn't exist. The perfect real estate market to start in doesn't exist because you can't really predict it. So I would say don't wait. And I would also say lay your foundation first. Do your training, get everything set up so that when it's time to start doing deals, you can just focus on the deals. So get all the business stuff set up, get all your training set up, and then learn from your mistakes because you'll make a lot of them.
That's part of how we learn, right? That's part of
Absolutely.
the curve, and it's having someone there to give you a hand, help you up, point you the right direction, and make sure we learn
Yeah.
from those mistakes, right?
Yeah. Fail forward. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with regards to the way the program was designed for you to be able to come in, as you said, go through the videos, go through the training, start plugging in, start looking for deals, was it structured in a way that was optimal towards the way you wanted to pursue this and get that foundation under you?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. And the way that Freedom Mentor trains you, you actually have to do every single step by yourself, which is a lot, from marketing to underwriting to getting the deal to closing the deal. I mean, all of it. And when I talk to other people in the business now and I tell them I did all my own marketing, I've never used a transaction coordinator, I don't even really know what they do. They are like, they can't believe that I've done as many deals as I have, and I've done every single step on my own. Because honestly, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and a business owner, you should understand and know every step of your business.
That's such an important piece because a lot of people want to specialize and just trust someone else to take care of the other
Yeah.
details. But we often point out no one cares about your income more than you do. And if you're
Right.
going to manage your business, you need to understand every aspect of it. You can, in time, if you choose to, perhaps hire someone, involve,
Yeah.
virtual assistants or work with other partners. But if you don't understand all the pieces of your business, you don't even know what it might cost you. So it sounds
Yeah.
like you having to go through that and learn all the pieces, it forced you into doing that. Were there pieces that you really enjoyed more than others, some that you have decided to push off elsewhere?
Um, I really like deal analysis and underwriting. And I really like talking to the sellers and doing the negotiating and closing on the deals. I don't like paperwork. So I could definitely do without dealing with all of the finite paperwork stuff. But I mean, again, that's something that you could have a VA do.
Absolutely. Maybe that transaction coordinator eventually, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I don't like to do any of that.
Totally understand. Well, overall, what would you say it was like to be part of the Freedom Mentor community, kind of our group overall? Was that a big help, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, I think that there's no other way that would have worked for me. And since the time that I've started and the time that I've graduated, I've talked to and experienced and networked with a lot of other people, and I still know that with all the other groups that I've seen and with all the other people that I've met, having somebody there to support me every step of the way is the only thing that would have worked for me.
Gotcha.
And I've never seen another group that does it.
Excellent. So your overall experience with Freedom Mentor, I mean, what would you say to someone else that's maybe looking at Freedom Mentor right now, trying to figure out if this is where they should spend their time and get some help? What would you pass on to them?
I would say if you're not the kind of person that can learn and do everything by yourself, then this is the best product that I've found. And I've seen a lot. If you're someone who wants to know that the people backing you know exactly what it is that they're doing and can answer every question, and that they have your back and they will get back to you, then this is where you need to be. Because I don't know any other group that has that level of consistent support.
Every successful real estate investor has a mentor. Get mentored by me and my team by applying to be my next apprentice. Click the top corner.
Yeah, and again, we, as you participated in, we're doing a call pretty much every day of the week. And
Yep.
I know when I was an apprentice, that was such an important piece as well, because I'm similar to the approach that you've taken. I want to get hands-on. I want to understand all the aspects. But when I have that dilemma, is it this way? Is it that way? Is this the best way?
Yeah.
And that analysis paralysis can seriously curb you if you don't figure out and get past whatever that is holding you up. So being able to jump on those calls, absolutely. And again, all the coaches are investors. We've all been there, done that, and we're kind of paying it back in a sense because we love helping people transform their lives. I think that's something that stood out to me in Phil. He really has a passion for that, and I think I've developed that more myself as well. But getting to help people avoid some of the problems you went through and just see them see more efficient success is very rewarding. So where are you now? What is it that you have planned for the future? Have you looked at for the future? Are you interested in growing, expanding into other types of real estate, or is flipping or rehabbing, transforming houses, is that still a love that you have?
Yes. I currently own a short-term rental and I have a midterm rental arbitrage that I'm doing. I don't know that midterm is my thing. Again, you got to try it to figure out what doesn't work for you. But I would love to buy and hold properties as vacation rentals. That would be something that I would be really interested in doing. If I can buy them creatively, that's even better. But I haven't been able to make that happen yet. But that's kind of the direction that I'm moving in.
Gotcha. Absolutely. And you continue to do a lot of creative deals, or have you done any, looked at more flipping? Since you've graduated, you spent a lot of time with creative deals, only had to borrow money once, but has that pushed you a direction as to even the types of deals you're focusing on?
That is my focus. My main focus has always been, even after I graduated, I do short-term sub-2 fix and flips and subtails. Those are really what I like to do. I feel like I can help the biggest number of people doing those. And I don't really want to deal with lenders. If I don't have to, I will if needed. And if I found a great like private money lender, that would be even better. But I really focus on sub 2 fix and flips and sub tails are kind of my bread and butter. That's what I've gotten really good at and niched down on.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, Krysta, thank you for taking time. I mean, obviously things have transformed for you as you've shared. What is it like to be you now? I mean, how does your future look?
I feel like I have a lot more options. As much as I loved teaching, there was always kind of that financial ceiling, and I never really saw a way of that. And so I think for now, just knowing that my time and my finances are a choice for me, I can choose what I want to do. I can choose what real estate I want to focus on and how I want to structure things. I think for me, it really is about the freedom of choice.
Wonderful. I'm so glad we were able to help you to achieve that freedom and just build the foundation for the future for you and your boys and your husband. So hopefully at some point, maybe your boys will be involved in transforming houses with you, right?
They love it. The more they can demolish, the better.
So they'll do the demo side and you can do the rehab.
It's their favorite thing to do. Yeah, they keep asking me, when are we getting another one?
That's great. That's great. Well, and when you can do it with them and pass those skills along, it's just such a wonderful experience. So hopefully you'll get to do a lot more of that in the future. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today and share your success. We've certainly enjoyed working with you and seeing that you've had the platform here to really come in and learn and take it to the next level. That's so rewarding for us, seeing someone that can see the opportunity. As we said, as you were alluding to earlier, this is a real business. This is something that requires hard work. But when you have the right vehicle and now it's on you to run with it, and then you see the success, you've made $500,000 and gone on to make a lot more. It's wonderful for us to see that it's working. And we know we will certainly want to see that continue to work for others as well. So thank you for taking time to share with us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
As you just heard, Krysta became a stay-at-home parent because the cost of childcare exceeded what she could earn as a teacher. She had dreams that she was challenged to pursue, but needed the right skills and, most importantly, mentoring to bring that dream to a reality. Maybe you can relate to Krysta. Maybe your job isn't paying you what you know you're worth. And perhaps taking control of your financial future is what you're seeking, but you need the right vehicle to achieve your goals and transform your future. Creative real estate investing is the best small business there is. It will pay you what you're worth and give you unlimited earning potential. But Krysta knew she couldn't do it on her own. She needed consistent, hands-on guidance, and that's why she chose Freedom Mentor to direct her every step of the way. If you want the opportunity to achieve success like Krysta has, join our apprentice program, and our team will mentor, coach, and guide you to financial success. There's a link in the description and in the top right corner.
Be sure to get your free copy of my best-selling book, How to Be a Real Estate Investor, and that comes with the audiobook version as well. Click the top corner.
Again, if you have any questions for us, text FREEDOM to 305-315-8030 or comment below. I'm Brian Bush with FreedomMentor.com. If you gain more real estate wisdom through this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.